Hi, I'm Dr. Tamara Hamai. I help service providers build profitable, sustainable businesses. So AI is pulling from information that millions of people have written about, posted about, produced in history, taking this huge pool of information and looking for the average, kind of looking for the commonalities and applying that. But you've been in the real world. Like, you've been doing this work, and when you've been out there, like, one of the reasons that you do what you do is because you've seen the shenanigans that people are pulling all the time. Lots of people are doing poor quality work. Other people don't produce services or produce results the way that you do. So when we're thinking about AI replacing us, that would be like saying that all of the slop work that we've seen in the past, even pre-AI, is going to replace you. That is what the average is based on. It's looking at a pool of junk and taking that junk and saying, here you go, this is the average of the junk. If you got into service because you know that you do work better than the way you've seen it normally, just inherently, you're going to also produce services and produce results better than that average AI. When you have garbage in, garbage out, like that phrase, it came actually from data systems. And data systems took in bad data, inaccurate, low quality data, crunched them all together using lots of algorithms, and then put out an answer, and that answer was garbage because the information going in is garbage. Those are the same systems that are feeding AI. From a quality standpoint, you are able to look at information and discern whether it's important. You have a judgment ability that AI doesn't have, and that makes you more legitimate. When people come to you, they come to you because you have a history of delivering client results for different people. You have a history of legitimacy that AI does not have. One way that you as a service provider can identify what that special sauce is that you bring that AI doesn't have is to think about if you were going to go to the library and pick up all the books and read everything on the topic that you address, what would you be missing if you were going to try to do it yourself? I started my business, I started out thinking that I was going to be able to do my own taxes. I learned the hard way. I read all of the IRS documents. I looked across everything and followed all the instructions on the different forms, submitted my taxes. And I did this for a few years before the IRS caught on that I was not doing the right things. After I got the first lien put on my bank account by the IRS because I had messed up and not realized that I had a penalty to pay, that was when I realized, oh yeah, I really need a professional for this. I need an expert that understands the context. I'm smart enough to read the information and comprehend the information, but I don't have the nuanced expertise and contextual experience in the real world looking at finances in the way that tax professional does. If you think about what AI can produce, it's going to produce the information that people can read about and steps that people can follow. But from your experience in the real world, what are the nuances and context, the little judgments and things that you've seen people miss over and over again? Those are the types of things that you can immediately start to emphasize in your marketing materials, emphasize in your service delivery, because those are the pieces that really become part of your secret sauce as a service provider, above and beyond what people could either do themselves without your guidance or do with AI alone. Additionally, AI is not designed to create the impact that you are aiming to create. There are a lot of ways to go about doing any specific service. There's a lot of ways to think about financial services, a lot of ways to deliver legal services, a lot of ways to consult, etc. But the choices that you make about what to include in your service, how to approach the service, how to deliver that service, that comes from your values and it comes from your purpose. So as an impact-driven service provider, you might choose to avoid certain techniques or strategies that AI would not avoid because sure, they work or maybe they are common practice, but you know that it doesn't lead people to their desired outcome in the way that your services do. Or it could actually not align with your values or do harm or produce a lower quality result. When we're impact-driven leaders, we're values-driven, we're purpose-driven, and that means going beyond following steps in a process to critically look at the process in the first place and say, is this the right process for the right people at this time? And that sort of contextual judgment and decision-making is a really valuable human piece that AI won't ever be able to replace. If topics and conversations like this are resonating with you, subscribe to the channel for more, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Rock on!